Your mindset is not just a collection of thoughts. It is the foundation upon which your entire life is built. Every success, every failure, every opportunity, and every obstacle you experience is filtered through the lens of your mindset. The way you think determines the way you act, and the way you act determines the results you achieve. This is not just motivational talk, it is a fundamental truth that governs human behavior. Consider this. Two people can be placed in the exact same situation, but their reactions and outcomes can be completely different based on how they perceive that situation. One person sees a challenge and immediately thinks, "This is too hard, I don't think I can do it." The other sees the same challenge and thinks, "This is difficult, but I'll figure it out." Their circumstances are identical, but their mindsets are worlds apart. And because their mindsets are different, their actions will be different and their results will be different. The truth is, your mind is like a magnet. It attracts what you focus on. If you believe the world is against you, you will find reasons to confirm that belief. If you believe that opportunities are abundant, you will start noticing them everywhere. It's not that the world changes, it's that your perception of the world changes and your actions follow accordingly. The self-fulfilling prophecy of mindset. Psychologists have studied a phenomenon known as the self-fulfilling prophecy. This concept states that what you believe to be true influences your behavior in ways that make the belief come true. If you think you are not good at something, you will approach it with hesitation, put in less effort, and ultimately perform poorly. On the other hand, if you believe you are capable, you will engage with more confidence, persist through difficulties, and perform better. Imagine a student who believes they are terrible at math. Because of this belief, they approach math assignments with frustration, do the bare minimum, and avoid asking questions out of embarrassment. When they inevitably score low on their test, they think, "See, I knew I was bad at math." But their poor performance wasn't because they lacked the ability. It was because they didn't give themselves a chance to improve. Now imagine another student who believes that math is a challenge, but one that can be overcome. They might struggle at first, but they persist, ask questions, and seek help when needed. Over time, their understanding improves, and so do their grades. Their belief in their ability to improve shape their actions, which in turn shape their reality. How mindset affects your daily life. Your mindset doesn't just affect big goals like career success or academic performance. It affects everything, from the way you interact with people to the way you handle unexpected challenges. Your thoughts determine how you experience life. Take relationships, for example. If you believe that people cannot be trusted, you will be guarded, suspicious, and hesitant to open up. Because of this, others may find it difficult to connect with you, reinforcing your belief that people are untrustworthy. But if you believe that people are generally good, you will approach relationships with openness and warmth, attracting positive interactions into your life. The same principle applies to health and fitness. If you believe that getting in shape is too hard or that you'll never be able to maintain a healthy lifestyle, you won't even try. You'll make excuses, avoid exercise, and continue unhealthy habits. But if you believe that you are capable of making healthy choices, you will start taking small actions that lead to long-term success. Even financial success is tied to mindset. People who believe that wealth is only for the lucky or the privileged never take the steps necessary to improve their financial situation. They see every setback as proof that they will always struggle. Meanwhile, those who believe that wealth is achievable actively seek opportunities to grow their income, learn about financial management, and take calculated risks. Their belief in their ability to succeed financially drives them to make better financial decisions. The role of focus in shaping your reality. Your mind is constantly scanning your environment for information that aligns with your beliefs. This is known as the reticular activating system, RAS, a part of your brain that filters information based on what you consider important. Have you ever noticed that when you start thinking about buying a certain type of car, you suddenly see that car everywhere? That's your RAS at work. Now, apply this to your mindset. If you constantly focus on problems, your brain will highlight more problems for you to see. If you focus on possibilities, your brain will start recognizing more opportunities. This is why two people can experience the same situation but interpret it in completely different ways. One sees obstacles, the other sees possibilities. By consciously shifting your focus toward positive possibilities and solutions, you train your mind to see opportunities instead of barriers. This doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending that challenges don't exist. It means approaching them with a mindset that looks for solutions rather than dwelling on problems. Breaking free from a negative mindset. Many people struggle with negative thinking because they've been conditioned to see the world in a certain way. Maybe they grew up in an environment where success was rare and failure was expected. Maybe they've experienced setbacks that made them lose confidence. But the good news is, mindset is not fixed. It can be changed. One of the most effective ways to shift your mindset is through awareness. Pay attention to your thoughts. Are they mostly negative or positive? Do you automatically assume the worst in situations? Once you become aware of your thought patterns, you can start challenging them. For example, if you catch yourself thinking, "I'll never be successful," stop and ask, "Is that really true? Have I given myself every possible chance? Are there successful people who started where I am? What can I do differently?" By questioning your own thoughts, you weaken the power of negative beliefs and open the door to new possibilities. Another powerful tool is visualization. Athletes, business leaders, and performers all use visualization to shape their reality. By picturing yourself succeeding, feeling the emotions, seeing the details, you train your mind to believe in that success. This, in turn, influences your actions in ways that make success more likely. Lastly, surround yourself with the right influences. If you are constantly around negative people who complain and make excuses, it will be harder to maintain a strong mindset. Seek out people who inspire you, challenge you, and push you to grow. The more you surround yourself with positive influences, the easier it becomes to maintain a winning mindset. Certainty is a powerful force. It shapes the way you think, the way you act, and ultimately the results you get in life. When you adopt an attitude of certainty, you walk differently, talk differently, and make decisions with confidence. This isn't about arrogance or pretending to know everything. It's about carrying yourself with the deep, unshakable belief that things will work out for you. Think about the most successful people in any field. They don't hesitate, they don't second-guess themselves at every turn. They move with purpose, they make bold choices, and they trust that whatever happens, they'll figure it out. That's certainty. It's not that they never experience fear or doubt. It's that they refuse to let uncertainty paralyze them. They act in spite of uncertainty. And in doing so, they create momentum. Now, some people hear this and think, but what if I don't feel certain? What if I have doubts? The truth is, certainty is not something you wait for. It's something you cultivate. You don't need proof before you believe in yourself. You don't need everything to be perfect before you take action. The very act of believing creates the proof. The very act of moving forward generates the results. Certainty and decision-making. One of the biggest ways certainty impacts your life is in decision-making. Have you ever noticed that some people seem to make decisions quickly and confidently, while others hesitate, overanalyze, and second-guess themselves into inaction? The difference is certainty. When you are certain, you don't waste time dwelling on what-ifs. You assess the situation, make the best choice you can with the information available, and move forward. You trust that even if challenges arise, you'll handle them. This level of decisiveness is what separates high achievers from those who remain stuck in a cycle of hesitation. Now compare that to someone who operates from a place of doubt. They agonize over every choice, fearing that if they make the wrong move, everything will fall apart. They ask 10 different people for advice, looking for reassurance. And because they hesitate, opportunities slip through their fingers. What they don't realize is that indecision is a decision. It's a choice to stay in the same place. People who adopt an attitude of certainty understand that action is more powerful than inaction. Even if they make a mistake, they learn from it and adjust. But those who hesitate out of fear never get the chance to learn at all. They stay in the realm of what could have been, never fully committing to anything. How certainty influences others. Certainty isn't just something you feel internally, it's something that influences the way others perceive you. People naturally gravitate toward those who exude confidence and certainty, whether in business, relationships, or leadership. The way you carry yourself determines how people respond to you. Think about a time when you followed someone's lead. Maybe it was a boss, a coach, or even a friend. What made you trust them? Chances are it wasn't just their knowledge or experience. It was the way they presented themselves. They spoke with authority. They carried themselves in a way that made you feel safe, putting your trust in them. Now imagine the opposite. Think of someone who was unsure, hesitant, constantly questioning themselves. Would you trust them to lead you? Would you take their advice seriously? Probably not. People follow certainty. In a room full of hesitation, the person who speaks with confidence commands attention. In a situation full of doubt, the person who says, "This is the way forward," becomes the leader, regardless of their background or qualifications. This is why so many successful people seem to have an almost magnetic presence. They don't have all the answers, but they move with conviction. And because they believe in themselves, others believe in them too. Building certainty in yourself. Some people believe that certainty is something you either have or you don't, but that's not true. First, speak with certainty. The words you use and the way you say them matter. If you constantly say, "I think I can," or "maybe I'll try," you are reinforcing uncertainty. Instead, start saying, "I will," and "I can." Even if you don't feel 100% certain at first, speaking with conviction will train your mind to believe in your own words. Second, act with certainty. Certainty is built through action. If you hesitate before every step, your brain learns that doubt is the default state. But if you take action, even small actions, with confidence, your brain starts to rewire itself. The more you prove to yourself that you can handle challenges, the more natural certainty becomes. Third, prepare for success. Many people spend all their time preparing for failure. They ask themselves, what if it goes wrong? But those who operate with certainty ask a different question. What if it goes right? They train themselves to expect success, and in doing so, they take actions that align with that expectation. Finally, embrace uncertainty instead of fearing it. People think certainty means eliminating all doubt, but that's not true. Certainty means trusting yourself even when you don't have all the answers. It means being okay with not knowing everything and still moving forward anyway. The power of unshakable belief. The people who achieve the greatest success in life are not necessarily the smartest or the most talented. They are the ones who believe without a shadow of a doubt that they will succeed. This belief is not based on external validation or past success. It comes from within. When you adopt an attitude of certainty, you no longer need permission to go after what you want. You don't wait for someone to tell you that you're ready. You decide that you are ready. This shift in mindset changes everything. Instead of approaching challenges with hesitation, you approach them with the expectation that you will find a way through. Instead of waiting for the right moment, you create the right moment. Certainty gives you the power to move forward even when the path isn't clear. It allows you to act boldly when others hesitate. And ultimately, it is the foundation upon which all great achievements are built. Most people go through life preparing for failure. They think about what could go wrong, make backup plans for when things fall apart, and spend time worrying about obstacles that may never even come their way. They prepare for the worst with incredible detail, making sure they have escape routes, contingency plans, and justifications for why things didn't work out. But very few people prepare for success with the same level of commitment. Think about it. How often do you hear someone say, "I better not get my hopes up," or "let's not expect too much"? They believe that by lowering their expectations, they can avoid disappointment. But here's the problem. When you only prepare for the worst, you unknowingly shape your actions, decisions, and mindset in a way that makes success far less likely. You hesitate instead of moving forward boldly. You expect things to go wrong, so you subconsciously act in a way that ensures they do. Preparing for the worst is easy. It doesn't require faith, courage, or vision. But preparing for the best, that takes real belief. It requires you to trust that good things are on their way. It forces you to make space in your life for success rather than just bracing yourself for failure. When you prepare for the best, you create a mental and physical environment where success can thrive. How preparation shapes reality. The way you prepare for something determines how you experience it. Consider two athletes training for a big event. One spends most of their time thinking about all the ways they could fail. What if they get injured? What if they lose? What if the competition is too strong? Their training is filled with anxiety, and when the big day comes, they step onto the field feeling nervous and doubtful. The other athlete prepares with a completely different mindset. They expect to win. They visualize themselves succeeding. Their training is focused, deliberate, and confident. When the day of the event arrives, they walk in feeling ready, not afraid. Even if unexpected challenges arise, they handle them with composure because they've already prepared their mind for success. The same principle applies to every area of life. If you only prepare for the worst, you train yourself to expect difficulties and your actions reflect that. But if you prepare for success, you begin to act in ways that make success more likely. Why most people don't prepare for the best. So why do so many people prepare for failure rather than success? The answer is simple. Fear. They fear that if they expect too much and don't get it, they'll be disappointed. They fear that if they aim too high and fail, it will be humiliating. So instead of preparing for the best, they settle for preparing for the worst because it feels safer. But this is a flawed way of thinking. The reality is, failure and setbacks are part of life, whether you expect them or not. The difference is, when you prepare for success, failure doesn't derail you. It just becomes a temporary obstacle. You adjust, you learn, and you keep moving forward. On the other hand, if all you've done is prepare for failure, then when success comes knocking, you're not ready. You won't know how to handle it. Opportunities will come and go because you weren't prepared to take advantage of them. Creating space for success. One of the biggest signs that you are preparing for the best is that you actively create space in your life for success. You don't just hope for good things to happen. You make room for them. Take a business owner, for example. Someone who prepares for failure might think, I don't want to order too much inventory because what if sales don't go well? But someone who prepares for success will think, I need to have enough inventory because when demand increases, I want to be ready. Or consider a person looking for a new job. If they prepare for the worst, they might only apply for positions they think they're overqualified for, fearing rejection from anything better. But if they prepare for success, they apply for the roles they truly want, knowing they have the ability to rise to the challenge. When you prepare for success, you set yourself up in ways that allow good things to happen. You take proactive steps to ensure that when opportunities arise, you're ready to seize them. Training your mind to expect the best. A powerful way to start preparing for the best is to train your mind to expect good things to happen. This doesn't mean being naive or ignoring reality. It means shifting your focus toward possibilities instead of problems. One way to do this is through visualization. Many top performers, athletes, entrepreneurs, and leaders practice visualization daily. They don't just hope for success, they see it before it happens. They imagine themselves winning, achieving, and handling success with confidence. This mental rehearsal programs the brain to recognize and create opportunities in real life. Another way to prepare for the best is to take actions that align with success. If you expect good things, act accordingly. Dress for the job you want, not the job you have. Speak with confidence, even before you feel it fully. Take care of your health, assuming that you'll need the energy to handle the success coming your way. Every small action reinforces the mindset that success is not just possible, it's expected. Surrounding yourself with the right influences is also key. If you spend time around people who constantly talk about failure, doubt and negativity, it will be harder to maintain a mindset of success. Seek out those who inspire you, challenge you, and push you to prepare for greatness. The difference between being ready and being cautious. Some people confuse preparing for success with being reckless. They think that expecting good things means ignoring potential risks. But there's a difference between being prepared and being cautious. A cautious person plays it safe, avoiding risk because they fear failure. A prepared person takes smart risks, knowing they have built the foundation to handle both success and setbacks. They don't rush in blindly, but they also don't let fear stop them. For example, an entrepreneur who prepares for the best doesn't quit their job overnight without a plan. Instead, they build their business strategically, investing time and resources to ensure they are ready for growth. They believe success is coming, but they also take the steps necessary to support that success. The same applies to relationships. If you prepare for the best, you don't hold back your love out of fear of getting hurt. You invest in building strong, meaningful connections. You communicate openly, you trust, you assume that good relationships are possible, and act accordingly. This mindset shift changes everything. Instead of playing small, you start making decisions from a place of confidence. Instead of holding back, you step forward boldly. Instead of bracing for failure, you build the foundation for success. Turn setbacks into stepping stones. Life is filled with challenges, obstacles, and unexpected roadblocks. No matter how carefully you plan, things don't always go the way you want. You will face rejection, failure, and moments of disappointment. But here's the truth. Setbacks are not the end of the road. They are stepping stones to something greater. They are the very experiences that shape you, strengthen you, and prepare you for success in ways that comfort and ease never could. Some people look at setbacks and see reasons to quit. They let failure define them, make them hesitant, and cause them to shrink back. They see obstacles as proof that they aren't good enough, that their dreams are out of reach, or that life is unfair. But others, those who truly rise to the top, see setbacks differently. They recognize that every challenge carries within it the seed of opportunity. They use setbacks as fuel to push harder, think smarter, and grow stronger. The reality is, your ability to turn setbacks into stepping stones is one of the greatest determining factors in your success. It's not about whether or not you'll face adversity. Reframing setbacks, the power of perspective. The first step in turning a setback into a stepping stone is changing the way you see it. A setback is only a failure if you allow it to be. If you reframe it as a lesson, an opportunity to grow, or a necessary detour on the way to success, then suddenly it's not a roadblock, it's a stepping stone. Look at any highly successful person, and you'll find that their journey is filled with setbacks. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company before returning to make Apple one of the most valuable brands in the world. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for television. Walt Disney was fired for lacking creativity. These people didn't let setbacks define them. Instead, they used them as stepping stones, learning from their failures and coming back stronger. Most people let setbacks damage their confidence. They take rejection personally. They internalize failure as proof that they aren't good enough. But when you shift your perspective, you realize that setbacks aren't personal. They are simply feedback. They are a signal that something needs to change, improve, or be approached differently. Instead of being discouraged, you can use setbacks to refine your approach and become even better. Developing resilience, bouncing back stronger. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, and it's one of the most valuable traits you can develop. Resilient people don't avoid failure. They embrace it as part of the journey. They understand that setbacks are not stop signs, but stepping stones that push them forward. One of the best ways to develop resilience is to practice emotional control. When something goes wrong, your first reaction might be frustration, anger, or self-doubt. But the quicker you regain control of your emotions, the faster you can turn the setback into something positive. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, shift your focus to what's next. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to grow? What's my next best move? Another key to resilience is persistence. Too many people quit too soon. They hit one roadblock and assume it means they're on the wrong path. But what if success was just one more step away? What if the setback was the final challenge before the breakthrough? The people who achieve great things are not necessarily the most talented. They are simply the ones who refuse to quit. They get up one more time, then they fall. Using setbacks as learning experiences. Every setback carries a lesson, but most people are so focused on the disappointment that they miss the lesson entirely. The key is to take a step back and analyze the situation objectively. Ask yourself, what went wrong and why? Was there something I could have done differently? What did this experience teach me that will help me in the future? When you start seeing setbacks as valuable lessons rather than failures, you develop a growth mindset. You begin to appreciate the challenges because you know they are shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable. Athletes understand this better than anyone. A basketball player who misses a game-winning shot doesn't give up basketball. He goes back to the gym, studies his mistakes, and practices harder. A boxer who loses a fight doesn't walk away from the sport. He analyzes what went wrong, improves his weaknesses, and comes back stronger. The same applies in business, relationships, and personal growth. The people who succeed are those who take setbacks as feedback, adjust their approach, and keep moving forward, turning pain into power. Some setbacks are more painful than others. Losing a job, going through a breakup, facing financial hardship. These experiences can shake your confidence and make you question everything. But even the most painful setbacks can be turned into power. Many of the most inspiring success stories come from people who transformed their pain into something greater. They used their struggles as motivation to build something incredible. They turned heartbreak into resilience, failure into determination, and loss into a newfound purpose. The key is to channel the energy of your setback into productive action. Instead of letting it weaken you, let it fuel you. Use it as proof that you are capable of overcoming anything. Turn frustration into focus. Turn disappointment into drive. Turn obstacles into opportunities. Taking action after a setback. The final step in turning a setback into a stepping stone is taking decisive action. You can learn all the lessons in the world, but if you don't apply them, nothing changes. The faster you take action, the faster you regain momentum. Start by setting a new goal. If one door closes, find another. If one opportunity falls through, create a new one. Action creates confidence. Movement builds momentum. When you take steps forward, no matter how small, you shift your energy from disappointment to determination. Some people spend months or even years stuck in regret, replaying a setback over and over in their minds. But dwelling on the past doesn't change it. Only action does. The moment you decide to move forward, you take back control. A setback is never the end of the story. It's simply a plot twist, a challenge designed to test you, refine you, and prepare you for something greater. When you learn to turn setbacks into stepping stones, you realize that every obstacle is an opportunity in disguise.